primary school where you learn the simple things and what you need to know for life. You need to start teaching people how to get through the airports. Let's get on it. The FAA is so slow at moving forward with remote virtual towers. It's painful. The FAA issued an operational viability decision on the Saab RVT back in September, and just one day prior to the due date of the organizational success measures for FY21. Perfect timing. Hey, the decision point allows for the continued provision of services by the remote virtual tower at the Leesburg Executive Airport in Virginia. So, what would have happened if they didn't make that decision by the due date? Would they have turned it off? They don't exactly own it, but you know, the FAA does have the responsibility to make sure that it works. Have no idea what would have happened. But I guess that doesn't matter now. What does matter is that the FAA is one step closer to making remote virtual towers a permanent fixture in the NAS. The program at Leesburg was started through a public-private partnership, not directly with the FAA, but with Saab, the Leesburg Airport, and through Virginia Sat Lab, which is the Small Aircraft Transportation System Lab, which is a partnership with NASA, the FAA, and state technologies to increase air mobility. Pretty cool and a big success for the SATS program. You know, Saab started this program in their home country of Sweden and was certified operational way back now in 2015. Their system was either in research or operations right now in dozens of airports around the world. And the rest of the world, as we talked about last week in Hungary, that the world is moving smartly towards this technology while the FAA is making painfully slow progress. Hey, but this is a very hard-fought victory and a big step forward for remote virtual towers. Name and address change with your local post office. I've had a number of those myself lately, and I don't know, mail still gets screwed up. But now Hyundai has filled out all that paperwork to enter the urban air mobility marketplace. So back in 2019, it was they hired the former associate administrator for aeronautics out of NASA, Jaewon Shin, and since then they've advertised a 4 to 5 place passenger concept vehicle, and they've gotten a seat at the table, even at the Drone Advisory Committee. Now the AC, checked back a couple weeks ago, and we're trying to figure out how to pronounce that. Now their latest move is to change their name to Supernal, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Supernal, which is an adjective related to the sky and the heavens. That's a very cool thing. Now their latest move is to change their name to Supernal and establish their headquarters in Washington, D.C. And Jaewon will be the CEO. And they're looking for its first commercial flight in 2028, and they want to enter the certification process in 2024. Now, that schedule is incredibly ambitious to enter certification and get done in a matter of 4 years, especially when their plan is to have that vehicle fly autonomously. I mean, Jaewon worked with the FAA as the associate administrator at NASA in the aeronautics section. He should know better. This is not exactly possible. I mean, that would be moving several mountains, not just one. There is a lot of promise with car manufacturers entering the aviation industry. Their ability to scale and deal with global issues and regulations is unrivaled. And maybe Supernal can figure out a way to make that happen, but I don't know. That's a tough one. So, on an aside, they ought to be taking a look at their home country, because German manufacturer Volocopter stole some of their thunder recently by completing the very first test flight of an eVTOL urban air mobility vehicle right in their own backyard in South Korea. Gotta watch your back there, Hyundai. This remote ID rule cannot get out of their own way. Constant trouble, a lawsuit that's still ongoing. But even now the FAA is working at it. The FAA's remote identification rule for drones is complicated enough without creating trouble. And so right now the Drone Zone website is asking recreational users to enter information for each drone upon a registration or a renewal as a requirement that it takes effect in 2023. Well, it's not 2023 yet. We're a long way from 2023. So the FAA is working to resolve the issue, Isn't that just go to the previous web page? But if you're in the process of registering a new drone or renewing your registration, the Academy of Model Aeronautics, AMA, has a website which is posting exactly what you need to do and when. And that is probably the best source of information. Unfortunately, not the own FAA's website. They need to get their act together, or this remote ID rule thing is just going to get worse and worse. It's already bad enough. And while they're confusing this kind of stuff, it would appear that remote ID has had a big impact already, but not in a good way. When the rule came into effect, which was last year, just the beginning of it, drone registrations have dropped by 50%. I can't believe that that curve all of a sudden flatlined because of anything else. So, and we got to keep watching that lawsuit to see whether it is a violation of our Fourth Amendment rights. But come on, we just got to keep the information clear and concise for recreational users. Hey, some companies are breaking apart to be more efficient, like General Electric, and some companies are going vertical and doing everything themselves. Take Amazon. They sell just about anything. They provide cloud services. They run their own small airline, and now they're requesting to launch the first satellites for their own mission to provide satellite-based internet around the world. Seems like a lot of people are doing that. Amazon expects to have over 3,200 satellites, with half of those in orbit by 2026. Talk about going at light speed. That is an aggressive schedule, but they can't miss. Their license from the SEC demands that they meet their schedule, or their license could be withdrawn. Now that's some pressure on a program manager right there. They not only have to get their program up and running fast, they will need FAA approvals, and that will move swiftly along the way. They are not in control of their own destiny. It's a tall order, but one that will really put pressure on the regulatory process inside the FAA building to make sure that that thing can move forward. Weather has historically been the major cause of delays and cancellations. Now delays and diversions are being caused by unruly passengers, passengers with guns, and even the cleaning crew. I don't see any of these categories in the Bureau of Transportation statistics. And I think we need a new category for this kind of stuff. It doesn't seem right that these things that are getting so much press lately are being covered under other. First, there was a power outage that grounded operations at Raleigh-Durham in North Carolina. A cleaning crew spilled a large amount of water that seeped in through the floor, damaged the power distribution system, and turned off the main terminal, causing a ripple effect throughout the rest of the day. It happened in the middle of the night, but there was nobody there to fix it until the afternoon. 44 cancellations and 73 aircraft out of Raleigh-Durham. That's unbelievable, but it only gets worse. Then there are disruptions due to our fellow passengers. On Saturday, Atlanta Hartsfield, a security officer was checking a bag after the X-ray machine identified a prohibited item. I mean, it is an automated system, it tells you. And the officer opened the bag, reached in the bag, or the passenger reached into the bag, grabbed the firearm, and the firearm went off. Fortunately, no one was hit by a stray bullet, but the passenger ran, and there was a warrant out for his arrest. I mean, there is a procedure for taking a firearm through the airport. Loaded and in your carry-on bag is not one of them. Of course, this created havoc for the rest of the day in Atlanta. Suspended screening, a ground stop for the airport. It took hours to get everything back to normal. And this isn't exactly rare at Atlanta. They have come across 450 firearms at checkpoints this year. This is amazing. Takes me to one thing. This needs to get taught in primary school. 2 + 2 = 4, and how you get through an airport as a courteous passenger, and how you can bring or not bring a weapon through TSA and security. Why not just teach this stuff? It's what we need to have done. Look, I know last week's was really long, so we're going to keep them shorter. We're going to try to put them out more often. Smash that subscribe button. Hit like if you liked it. Hit don't like if you didn't like it. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you want to hear. Talk to you next time. Give you the information you want. Shit. Pretty hard when they talk to you. Don't forget to hit that.